so you all know, I'm not going to be seeing your pictures, and I'm not going to be reading the chats unless Kayla brings it to my attention. So, and it's just so I can go inside and hear what's going on. So, record this on my computer. Welcome. This is April 3rd, 2020, another gathering for an evening of spirit. And I'm so grateful that people have the time and energy to plug into this and this platform. And it's not selfless. Kayla said it was selfless, but it's absolutely not. I require time with spirit, and what I'm learning that I was put on the planet to do group healings. It's kind of new information for me, so it's daunting, but it's very clear. And I thought it was going to be in person, and that's why I built a nice little room for us all together for group angelic soul healings. And now I realize that you know, we all need to morph and adjust as the world around us does. And here, with just two people asking me a couple of weeks ago if I had anything to say about it, I was like, wow, I guess I do, because all day long, Spirit talks to me about this. So yeah, I'll do it. And I thought it was going to be really easy. It turns out it's a little more complex, and there's a little more to it than I thought. So for you to even all show up, I am very grateful. It makes it worth the effort and listening to them all day long as I'm trying to scramble and take notes and things. You know, today's, some days are good, some days are hard for all of us. And I think to not have a bitch session, but more of a platform to just express, you guys just all express beautifully. I want it to be a safe place, but not, it's not a class. This is not a class, and I'm not teaching you anything, because that's really not my forte as much as I'm a healer. And I've been blessed with some great gifts, and some of them are really coming to the surface right now in big ways. So I get to immediately learn something, do it on myself, and then bang, I want to do it with you. So I'm super, super, I don't know what that means. YouTube is, I guess I can see chat. Didn't know I could. Pass it on to you immediately. Healing is my absolute passion, and turns out long distance healing is so easy. I've been doing it for 20 years, but I have not been really talking about it. I don't really advertise it. But it's super fun and easy, and we're going to take advantage of it. And group healings is the wave of the future. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about it a lot, how the morphic field of a group coming together, two or more gathering in the name of love, exponentially increases our potential to heal. So really hear that. Miracles can happen in just minutes. And we're going to have 2 hours. I think the next one is going to be April 13th. That's a Monday at 5 o'clock Pacific time. And I'm trying to do it earlier because I have some East Coast friends that do join, and I'm trying to accommodate for that. If it turns out that just doesn't work for the majority of people, we'll do it later. But so 5 o'clock on April 13th, that'll be the next one. So yeah, group healings, exponential healing in a morphic field of people who gather in the name of love. And so what's going to happen is I'm going to say a bunch of words, but the words have energy to them. And what I'm doing is I'm building layers, so that by the time we go inside and have a look for internal presencing, that we will have a really safe space to do this. All right, so I have to just train myself not to look up now that I can see that chat. Okay, so thank you all for being here. And now that we have a little bit of an idea of what we're all feeling, um, the ringing in the ears, it's a couple of things, but the predominant thing that I asked when I was hearing all that is that we're having some big shifts on the planet right now, like these 3 days, the 2 days we just had, this day and tomorrow. Um, and Spirit is desperately trying to talk to those who are waking up, and that's what we're doing. You wouldn't be on this call if you didn't know you came here to make the planet a better place with your positive energy and your motivation to find love in yourself and in the situations that you're going through. So I was woken up out of a deep sleep last night with the strangest noise in my ear ever. It was just absolutely startling. And there was a little bit of an earthquake last night, so I thought maybe that was part of it too. But things are really coming to a head on the planet as far as these ascension energies. They've been happening for quite a few years, but they are building up even more now. What does that mean? They're to help with our ascension, and our ascension is this journey that we're taking from third dimensional world and consciousness, which is here, the world where we have polarities, positive, negative polarities on the earth, and the hallmark of being separate from each other. And when we are very much grounded in that paradigm of believing that we're separate from each other, we're apt to do some really weird stuff that we wouldn't do if we intimately knew we were all connected to each other. So 3D reality has been the hallmark of where the consciousness on the planet has been for a very long time. And yet we have made huge shifts on the planet in the last few 100 years. In the 1500s, there was a big shift. In the 1700s, there was a big shift. It's a shift where people start to wake up. Wake up to what? Wake up to the light of their own true nature. Wake up to the potential that maybe there's an energy in us that if we cultivated, we could actually control our reality by co-creating with spirit instead of trying to do it by ourselves. So in 3D consciousness, we have a lot of polarized feelings as well. Something's good, something's bad, something's evil, something's nice. Someone's guilty, someone's innocent. These are hallmarks of the 3D. And we have all bought into it, in a really big way, because part of us has forgotten who we are. So the interesting thing when I was hearing what people were writing in the chat is that all the emotions that were fearful and worry and just all the things that felt heavy and scary, this is the body screaming. And all the people who said, yet I still have hope, I trust, I have faith, part of me feels like I can move forward, part of me knows I can wake up and make it, that's all the soul. And so, yeah, we've got a lot of mixed feelings going on. And so selfishly, this, session is helping me today because I thought I was, really going down for the last 24 hours, just with the temperature and, chills and sneezing, all that crap. And just when my pattern, when I get sick and my body panics, is that it very much challenges my soul. And it's hard for me to comfort her because she is not feeling good. And yet all my soul wants to do is everything is rainbows and unicorns. And what an opportunity to be on the earth at this time and make these changes. And my body's like, I don't feel good. Like, who cares about all that stuff? So today was a great day to, I had to really ask for a lot of help because I didn't want to throw up on the call. So I was asking for help of, I know I made this commitment and I want to stay with this commitment. And I know this is happening exactly as it's supposed to be. So why? So I had to sit and listen. And to be of service when you don't feel good is sometimes the best recipe. And so that is where, you put all the stuff aside that says I want to stay in my pajamas that I've been in for 3 weeks and go to bed again, or step up and start running some really high vibrations, because it will fix it. Now, I'm not saying that works for everybody all the time, but I had to do some internal research to find out if it would work today. And so when I asked my body about this heaviness that I was feeling and all these sensations and all these emotions, I had to track it. I had to say, is it an actual reality in this moment that I have some weird bacteria or virus? And they were like, no, like 1%, 2%. It was all coming from other times and places. And this is what I emphasized in the first one, that we are feeling so much that is bleeding through from don't touch your pig, other times, places, and spaces. And I got in touch with a part of myself that was having a real transition, AKA dying in another reality. And it felt so intense here that's why my head was screwing up with me. Yes, I was having physical symptoms, but in my mind, I was like, I don't know. I've been locked in the house for 3 weeks. Like, I haven't licked any doorknobs. I should be good. Like, I've got every tincture and remedy and, thing you could possibly think of, forever. I could sink a ship with how much stuff I have in this house. And plus I have a very strong spirituals practice. So, I think I'm being safe. And so when I looked at actually what is going on, it started to calm down my head. And then they said, just show up tonight. We'll show up with you. You show up, be of service, create a space where we can really emphasize the remedy for excessive fear is love. But to walk through that fear, yeah, that doesn't feel good. So I would never make light of it, and we should listen to our fear. And if our fear tells us something and we know in our gut that we should do it. If someone knows they have to go to the doctor, you go to the doctor. If your fear is telling you, don't go there, don't connect with that, do this, you have to follow it to a certain extent. But when you get to the point where you really take the time to sit with the fear and talk to the fear, you might realize that you have way more control over it than you think you do. So if you can start to train yourself to even ask percentages, like what percentage of what I'm feeling right now is mine? And if you don't know how to muscle test, then just get a feeling. Is it more than 50% is mine? No. Oh, so more than 50% is someone else's? Yes. Okay. And then you can do your even dowsing, the way you can go forward with your body for yes and backward for your body for no. And you can even YouTube that on how to do that. That is an excellent form of divine muscle testing. Make sure you get really grounded before you ask your body that question, because of course she's magnetic, and she has to be connected to the magnetics of the earth in order to connect to the celestial energies of the cosmos. And then once you become that divining rod, yes is forward, no is backward, and you can say, you want to start with, is my name, so that you're running your own energy. Most of us are not. I know that sounds weird, but that's the truth. So one of the main things we're going to do in the session, I guess I'll call it a session, is clear our space, invite in an immense amount of guidance and help and love. I want you all already to be sensing where your guardian angel is. That's the angel you were born with. That's the angel that will stay with you this entire lifetime. It may feel male, it may feel female, it may feel to your left, to your right, behind you, in front of you, off to a side, a corner. It may be underneath you, it may be above you. I want you to just start to, the easiest way is just say hello. Hello, hello, guardian angel. Please come forward so I can feel your presence and I can reconnect with you and acknowledge that you're here for me. So we'll just take a couple of breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Okay, so you're going to all start to feel it. If you think you did, you did. So don't let your head get in the way. Maybe it's a little sparkle right here. Maybe it's an actual being. Maybe it's a color. Maybe it's a ball of light. Maybe it's something that sits, right near you, right here. It might touch you. Just say hello. Keep saying hello, guardian angel. Hello. I want to feel your presence during this time right now, gathering. And I want us to evolve together. Because as you grow, you can ask that your guardian angel get that growth too for them. And that is such an honor for them that you would share that with them. Because they're here for you to serve you. But when you dedicate your healing for the sake of all beings and your family and your friends and your loved ones and your community and your world around you, when you include your angels, it's like they get to earn more wings, if you will. They are very grateful. And so this is something I learned a few years ago when I started to do exponential growth, that I increased my guidance team and I gave some had to go home. I think we're gonna do that. If I just said that, that means we're gonna do that. So give our guidance team a little tune up and ask our angels to get benefits from this healing as well. Okay, great, thank you. So if you can feel it, they get really excited about that. So one of the questions that I wanted to answer that I didn't even answer in the first one directly, but I meant to is there divinity in chaos? Yes, but not in the 3D. So what does that mean? Is there divinity in chaos? Yes, there is, but you will not perceive it from the third dimensional reality. So how do you perceive it then? You perceive it from the fifth dimensional reality, the reality of oneness, consciousness, the reality of love. And I don't mean this human love, I mean unconditional, unending love. Love as a state of being, not emotion. Angels do not have emotions like humans do. They are states of being. They are beings of love. We have, as humans, the emotions of love. That's very different. So if you were to get lost in the woods and you couldn't remember where the path turned and you got turned around and the sun all of a sudden was different and you didn't recognize where you were, you didn't have a good reference point, what would you intuitively do? You would intuitively get to a knoll or a higher point of earth for a better perception, maybe climb a tree. You need a bird's eye view. You need a higher sense of perception from what's going on, because when you're feeling lost, you can't see the forest through the trees. You get confused. You get turned around. That's 3D reality. So Einstein has a famous quote, "You can't solve a third dimensional problem from the realm that you created it in." That's profound. You can't solve a problem from the place that you created the problem in. So for those who are beings in the planet that come up with inventions and solutions and ideas and peace treaties and things like that, they're getting divinely guided. And that's the fifth dimension. And so is there divinity in chaos? Yes, if you look at it from a higher perspective. If you look at it from a higher perspective, we are all we were divinely called here, and we enthusiastically answered with a yes, a resounding yes. Put me in, coach. That is where I want to be. I want to be on Earth when the consciousness on the planet shifts to a degree that exceeds 50% of fear and starts to a critical mass of resonating with love. And that's where we're at. And you came here to do that. None of you didn't. You all did. We all did. And most of us have come from very, very far away and different planets and different stars. And it is our calling to be here. And we have everything we need inside of us to do this. And yet it can get confusing because when we go to access our guides and our mastery and our wisdom and our answers, we might not see where they are. And that is why most people develop a practice so that they can get some inner presencing, which is what I'm calling it. That's what came to me a couple of weeks ago. And that's what we're going to be doing when I start to invoke more energy to come in and we do a brain balance. We're going to have to do a brain balance first. And we're going to have to, when we do this internal presence thing, this is where we can address the fear one-on-one. No one can take away your emotions for you. You are the only one in control of what's happening inside your being. I know it doesn't feel like that sometimes, but that is the truth. And it's a racket in the universe that we have to get disturbed by negative energies. We can sense what's going on around us and always hold a divine line inside. And that is the truth. We can experience extreme pain and still have a divine line, a divine connection to the light. We can experience chaos in the world around us and still have a place in our being where we are fully connected to the light of our own true nature. So we can have unpleasant things that we are experiencing in the world. And I know that for some that is an incredible understatement, the word unpleasant. Yet when we go inside and breathe and raise our vibration and find this inner presencing to this light inside of us, this is our higher self, our body David's higher self, guides, our guidance. Oh, trip. And then this is us as human angels walking on the planet. This is the divine line that we're going to talk about today. This is the divine line that we are cultivating. This is the connection to source. This is the Shishumna, the inner river, the shaft of light. This is our connection to all of us, the part of us that had us jump down to this reality. And so it's good to talk to this part of us because then we can get our answers. Why did I come? What are my gifts? What should I do right now? And so oftentimes in a session, I will bow my head and close my eyes. And that is because I don't know. I don't know the answers. Me, my ego. I don't know. But there is a part of me that I can access that knows. And in order for me to access that, I have to get into the other side of my brain. I cannot be in my logical, linear brain that is absolutely vigilant at keeping me alive and understanding the world about me, understanding the world around me, because you can't. And so we'll make up stories to pretend we can, but they end up making us more confused anyway. And sometimes we believe things that really aren't the truth. And so unless we really get connected to this other side of our brain, the right side of our brain, our mind of God, our mind of intuition, our mind of clarity, it is hard to see clearly. And so the motion of bowing your head, I mean, it's actually, there are billions of people all over the planet that do that when they go into prayer. And a prayer is really just a map of intent. It's saying, it's getting honest, it's getting vulnerable, and it's talking to a source of light that we intuitively know that loves us and is always there and can help us find the answers or give us strength or give us insight or give us comfort. When the 3D world around us is really suffering, it's sometimes hard to get the comfort and the answers you need. No one has your answers. No one. You do, though. And so it's a racket in the universe to think, well, I go inside and I don't hear it. It's because we have so many dust bunnies in there. It is in our complete control to clean those out. You have complete power over how much light resonance you choose to hold in your being. And when you choose to increase it, you will get a lot of clarity. Now, some people don't really want to, because that means they're going to see realities in their life that are harsh, that they should maybe change or let go of. And so some people really don't want that level of clarity, because it means they'd have to change, and they're already so freaking stressed out that they don't want to be asked to change more. I get it. I postponed my growth for a very long period of time because I felt that was really uncomfortable when I went in there. But this is the deal. You never go in alone. You go in with the light. You go in with a lot of light. A lot of light. When you go in with a lot of love and light, you can look at anything. You will have the courage and the power to look at anything. And if you look at it long enough and say hello to it long enough, hello. Hello to my fear. Hello to my self-hatred. Hello to my addictions. Hello to my judgments of the world around me. Hello to my panic. And you go in with a lot of light, you will transform that stuff. And you can't do it for anybody else, and no one else can do it for you. So by creating a safe space, we're all going to do this with each other, and we are going to accelerate our growth rapidly, take 5 years off of any sort of counseling that we might have thought that we needed for this, because we can do this. We can do this together. We're not supposed to do it individually. We are supposed to be doing it as groups. So it's interesting, this isolation that has been prescribed for us. I know logistically why, to help stop spread. I know the basics, but isn't it, interesting that they threw out the 6 feet, That's right where your aura is. What a good time to take advantage of understanding what the boundaries of your aura feels like. When you really start to clean it up inside here, you can actually really clearly see the edges of your aura. You can feel them, you can see them, you can sense them, and you will know immediately when you lose your space. And it will be so uncomfortable at that point, once you become aware of it, that you will go fix it right away. You're going to put yourself in the corner or whatever you have to do, and take a few deep, full breaths and say a prayer of intent. Universe, God, Mother Mary, Jesus, Buddha, the divine feminine, the creator of all that is. Pick your name. Pick it and start to make friends with it. So I say God now. I had to work through a lot of energy to get to know and love that word. So I do say that a lot. But you pick one for tonight and really explore it. And it might morph for you. You might end up saying your prayer, your map of intent, to a different energy. But we need to connect to it. And so as we move through life and then we feel funny, we will no longer tolerate letting that ride. We'll say, wow, something just happened. Okay, I will go inside, 3 breaths, and ask for help. I call in the help from the light, 100% pure light, God light, source light, my angels, my guides, my team. Help me see what just happened. First of all, is it mine? If it's not, please bless them. If it is mine, please show me what I'm supposed to learn from this. What would you have me do right now? What would you have me say? Should I stay in this situation? Should I leave this situation? Is this my opportunity to extend love? Is this the moment I might, if I got through this uncomfortableness, instead of running like I usually do, if I stayed in this uncomfortableness, I just felt a shift in my aura that kind of tells me I want to go home, or I don't want to talk to this person, I don't want to be, but if I stayed with it and I asked, and I used it as a potential of learning, that might be the moment I wake up, pushing through something that made me really uncomfortable before. That could be the moment where I get so much divine insight that I get the proof I need that I am divinely loved and guided every moment of every day, if I so choose to be. And I now choose to be. And that has been the best blessing I've had in the last 2 years. So, yes, I've made friends with the word God now because I talk to this energy all day long. And I ask, where would you have me go? What would you have me do? What would you have me say? Where would you have me show up? And sometimes it tells me to do stuff I don't want to do. And I have learned now to bow my head back to where I was in that, because it's me saying, I know I have had a habit of pushing through with my human will for so many years that I've made myself so uncomfortable that I am not willing to do it anymore. I have been proved to time and time again that if I let go of my control of the fear and I just bow my head and say, I don't have the answers, but I know I do on some level. And I let that level of spirit, God, angel, source come in. So I let go of what I think I know. I let it dump out of my head. And I lift I lift my crown and the back of my neck, which are medium channels for receiving energy. And I say, let the light come in and rewire my brain right now, because I'm having a wicked bad moment. I'm having wretched thoughts, or I'm having excessive panic or fear, and yet I don't want to feel this. So show me my way out of it. Show me how I can sit with it until it transforms. Would you have me go, or would you have me stay? Because it has asked me to do things before that I haven't wanted to do, and I know now you do it anyway. Just like tonight. I'm like, I'm going to throw up. I'm going to throw up. Josh, you're not going to throw up. Shut, you're trapped. You'll be fine. Because they prove to me every time, if I work through the level of panic, if I work through the level of fear, there will be some gift in it, not only for myself, but those around me. They have had me go to my neighbors in my pajamas before. I'm like, I don't want to get off the couch. Go. And there's something they had to tell me. I had to be a witness for something. And it brought me, they thanked me for coming over, and yet I was the one who had extreme joy for being of service in just that moment. What did it take me? 20 minutes, So I listen now on a regular basis, because it saves me from myself. It saves me from letting the train run too crazy off the tracks. And this is where we start to listen to the love more than the fear. We know how to keep ourselves alive. That's why we're staying inside and not touching each other right now, because we truly believe that's going to help where we are right now. We know what we need to do. And yet I'm proposing for us to develop and deepen and strengthen our practices of inner presencing during some of this time, and balance it out maybe with how much we read, and educate ourselves. I think the best education you're going to get about the truth of things is when you really go inside and presence with yourself, because you are a master and you came here to be the light of the world. So it takes time. So say you want to be a professional soccer player or a concert, violinist. You don't go practice playing, with the ball down the street with your neighbors. It's not what you do to be a Olympian soccer player. You commit time and money and effort to very hard training. You want to practice with people that are better than you. You want to practice with the best of the best to push yourself. And if you want to be a violinist, you know, you're going to be sitting and practicing for probably 6 hours a day to be the best, you can be at that. And so it's interesting because as we do this inner presencing, we're really developing our communication with the universe around us. Because the more we develop that communication with the universe around us, and we get out of our left side of our brain, and we're into our creative, intuitive right side of our brain, we are accessing communication with the quantum field. And the quantum field is the field of all that is. This is where we want to create from. And right now is a really fertile time because some of us maybe don't want to go back to the jobs we had. I do, I'm cool. But some of us maybe don't. Maybe it is time for a change. Maybe the universe wants us to do something different. Maybe there's information coming in and our ears are ringing because they want us to birth something in this reality that fosters us moving into a species that can raise the vibration on the planet so that war is not a threat anymore. Earth's mission is peace. There are 12 other worlds. Earth's just one of them. And her mission is peace. And so we exclusively targeted Earth, us, all of us, because we wanted to have that experience of creating peace on Earth. I could go into that one forever, but I'm going to go back to where I was with the quantum field. So if we really want to be good at something and we want to manifest something into a actual reality for us in this dimension, then we want to manifest from the quantum field, the field of all that is, the mind of God, the mind of source. Not from fear, not from lack, not from, I hate my job, more, I sense there's something better I could do to express my gifts. And yeah, that takes some practice. So I think this prescription for home time could be a wonderful remedy where we feel like we might have had creative insecurity and not living to our full potential. I think there's a presence on the planet, these ascension energies bombarding us and making things, for those of us who are sensitive, which we all are, making things super uncomfortable because humans won't change unless we're uncomfortable. That's just the reality of it. Why would you change? If everything was hunky-dory, why would you change? No, we wouldn't change. So we tend to change when things get uncomfortable. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Let's start doing some setting up the energies. So now I'm sure you're all dying to go inside and see what it looks like and get your answers and your mastery and your wisdom and focus on the power of love and healing. Because this quantum field that we are growing together, each one of us has the same important part. No person's part in this group together is any bigger than the others, including, of course, myself. We all have equal gifts to bring to the table. And in many lifetimes, many of these people on the planet were our masters, were the ones that we followed before. We have a lot of very strong beings of light on this platform right now. And yeah, this is a place for them to shine too. So as their gifts and mastery really come into play for creating a morphic field of love to create something different, we all need to do this together. Yeah, so by now you've said hi to your guardian angel and you've decided who you're going to talk to, source. Don't just say, light, say 100% light, or the source of light, because there's a lot of light that's about 98%, 99%, and it has a lot of ulterior motives. And anything less than 100% pure source love and light is not invited in this session today, and may not influence it in any way at all. And that's just the law. And I laid that down before we even started so that we could all feel safe. It has been proven that if people don't feel safe, they won't release stuff. So the safer we can make this, the bigger we can grow this field of love together, the more you will let go of. And I encourage you to not pick apart what you're letting go of. You've already made a decision on some level to let go of it. That's why you signed up. So as it's leaving your field, don't feel like you have to grab it by the neck and have another conversation with it. If you already feel it leaving your field, bye-bye, thank you, and goodbye. If it's stuck inside of you, yes, we will go and sit with it and keep saying hello and hello and hello and hello and hello until it starts to trust us to have a conversation. We're not going to do it all in one evening. I mean, I wish we could, and I believe we could, but I doubt it's going to happen. So let's not pressure ourselves. But it could evolve and evolve and evolve and evolve and evolve. And in 3 or 4 days, you might be like, wow, I'm really sinking more and more into the presence of myself inside. And this is a place I want to cultivate and be. It's like making friends. So it's making friends with the universe to create something. We're making friends with our body. Those emotions that we expressed before, those were the bodies, the negative feeling ones, the scared ones. The positive ones, the ones that felt hope, and that's our soul. We have to connect these two inside here. And so whatever your name of source that you want to declare yourself from, I say, I am of God. I am of source. I am of 100% the light. I am pure divinity, whatever you want to say. Let's say it and connect to it. So we'll tap our thymus. And so you can tap our thymus, and we want to give love to our thymus because this is what helps keeps us healthy, our T cells. We want our thymus. It's a really important part of our immune system. So we'll tap our high heart here, and we'll say our name 3 times, full name, birth name, married name, maybe you changed your name, maybe you have a favorite name, put them all in there, even if you're divorced. Throw that name in there if it's still legally yours. So for me, it would be, I am Ann Jeanette Annie Nelson only. And breathe. So you'll do that for yourself. All your mics are off. So you're just somehow connecting here, whether it's a tapping or a holding. I am Ann Jeanette Annie Nelson only. Now, why are we saying only? Because there's some energy around us and in us that's not us. And we are staking claim in this sacred capsule right now. This is our body, that's your body, and nobody else's body, and no one else has any business being in there but you. That is your divine capsule. I am Ann Jeanette Annie Nelson only. Okay, good. So let's balance our brain. Just listening. Okay, so we're going to cone our fingers. And for people who are just listening on the phone and can't see this, it's like you're coning your fingers like you're going to pick up a piece of rice off of a table. You're just coning them all together, crossing them, and plugging them into your forehead. One's on the left side of your forehead, one's on the right side of your forehead, like above your eye pupil. And you're going to breathe. This brain balance is from my soul memory teacher, Ellen Kaufman-Dosick. She's a beautiful being of light. We might even do more processes from her body of work as we move on. I wanted to give her a shout out because she has a newsletter. It's called The Cosmic Times, and her tagline is spiritual news you can use. And it is so beautiful. It is channelings from 6 ascended masters that are part of an ascension team that have been guiding us during this time of evolution and ascension on the planet, where we're raising our consciousness to eventually work towards world peace. Okay, so that's the big picture. Okay, so but her information is at www.soulmemorydiscovery.com. I can give that to you later if you didn't catch it. Okay, so let's balance our brain. And Libby named it the Brainbow, which is just awesome. I'm so grateful she gave me that Brainbow, because we're going to run rainbow light through our head in the second step, from our left hand to our right hand through our Brainbow. Okay, so we balance our brain, plugging our fingers into our forehead, and breathe. And eventually you're going to sigh. Sometimes my body moves or rocks or sways, but eventually you'll sigh, and you'll know it's time to put the other wrist in front. So you just switch the cross and then put your other wrist in front. And breathe. We're balancing our left side, right side brain hemisphere here, so we can bridge information from the third dimension to the fifth dimension. Okay, so we're holding out our hands. Our hands are facing our head. Our fingers are together. And we're picturing rainbow light going through our head to the other hand and then back. Oh, okay. And you may feel some adjustments when you do that. Great. You may not. That's totally fine too. Okay, there you go. But at some point, there'll be a shift and you'll sigh. And that's just an indication your body is acknowledging that electromagnetic balance and the integration from the left side and the right side of the brain hemisphere communicating, and it just feels better. So when we get used to balancing our left side, right side brain hemisphere, in any moment of something that we're experiencing, we can immediately get those other lenses on, just like if we were lost in the woods. How do I find a higher place of perception? So how can I take something that over here feels horrible and wretched and attacking and annihilating and makes no sense to me and makes my heart feel shattered and despondent and broken and withdrawn and hopeless? And that's something in the 3D, right? That's where we feel pain, in the 3D, and especially in the left side of our brain, where we don't have a lot of options of it. We have very linear thinking of just how to get us out of it. That's all we want in the left side. Get me out of it, fix it, take it away. I can't accept it. This is too hard. Okay. But when we learn how to transubstantiate, we are taking a meaning of something that is undigestible to us on some level, and we are transubstantiating it to the fifth dimensional energy so we can see it from a higher place of perception, so that we can see it through the eyes of God, source, all that is, that we can see it through the eyes of divinity. We can see it through the eyes of the part of ourself that came to this planet to make the planet a better place, by anchoring love in our heart and light onto the planet. And so in Catholic Mass, I don't know, I'm not Catholic, but whatever. Catholic Mass, they take the body of, the bread represents the body of Christ, the wine represents the blood of Christ. They're transubstantiating it. They're making a three-dimensional object into spiritual, loving thing. And that's, we do have the capacity to do that in any moment's time, only if our brain is balanced. So is there chaos in the divinity? Yeah, if you look at it from a higher point of perspective. And honest to Pete, like, we should all try to do that a couple times a day, else we'll just feel like we are going to go down the tubes, and that this is the land of the living hell, instead of this is a huge point in our evolution where we are going to turn the corner. Um, and love is going to overcome fear. So we are going to all get through this. And when we get to the other side, I think a lot of our minds are going to be blown away with how beautiful the planet's potential and us on it can be when we get through this. And we will get through this. So you want to, at this point, declare yourself as having the healing. So I say, I am of God. Your own self, you'll either say in your mind or out loud. It doesn't matter. If you're home alone and no one hears you, say it out loud. Like, we need to use this throat chakra, Otherwise, say it in your mind if you're around people. I totally get it. I am of God. I am a source. Say whatever it is for you. I am of God. I ground myself to the earth in this body. And I accept this healing for my highest good. That's the permission we just gave to the universe to do this for us. And they are going to do it for us. There is nothing that you need to do other than you just declared that you'll have a healing. And they're going to do it for us. All along in this session, if you ever feel weird or lost, it's because stuff's coming up. That's good. Don't try to push it down. Let it come up into the sacred space where it can get healed. And the second it leaves your space or you connect with it inside your being to the light and it starts to transmute, we're just going to fill in with more of that light. And to do this, we have to say yes to the universe. They can't mess around with you unless we say yes. So we could say, thank you, bring me more. Like if you feel more guidance coming in and you like it, thank you, bring me more. If you felt something jump out of your space and you all of a sudden your heart palpitations stopped, thank you, bring me more. If you feel weird, something's coming up and you're tearing up or you're starting to feel weird, spinny, nauseous, whatever it may be, just keep affirming, I am safe, I am safe, I am safe. And if that's even a reach, like, yeah, no, I don't feel safe, I get it, then you're going to say, I am willing to feel safe. Because then we're telling the universe, yeah, if I could feel safe, I would. Yeah, and I don't. And so I'm not going to lie to you. And so by saying, I am willing to feel safe, the universe then will work with your energy field, your guides, your teams, your mastery, to create that vibration in you so all of a sudden you can feel it. You don't have to know how to do it, else you would have already done it for yourself. So that is very powerful wording. I am willing to feel safe. I am willing to let go of this rage. I am willing to let go of this excessive fear. I am willing to see things differently. I am willing to feel more peace inside myself. I am willing to know my mastery. I am willing to open up the places in myself that feel constricted right now so that I can let in more light. I'm willing. Thank you, bring me more. Thank you, bring me more. I'm just giving you some words to say in case, I don't know, you can't hear my voice anymore or you went to sleep or something to keep you company as you are on this inner journey with a bunch of others that are on this inner journey with us. So no one's alone, but we're doing this work individually together. That's what makes us intradependent. So we're not being codependent, we're being whole entities unto ourselves, and we're connecting with other whole entities unto themselves, and we are dovetailing in, and in this interdependence with each other gives us strength in numbers. Okay, so I'm going to say some commands now, and then we're going to do some protocols, and then we're going to do some inner journey work. And if I do say the word God and you think that is a creepy word, I am very sorry, because I do not mean to make anybody uncomfortable. Switch the word in your head to source, divinity, goddess, the creator of love, the ultimate dimension, all that is, the supreme being. And when I'm saying God in this particular instance, I'm actually talking to the Melchizedek beings. I'm a huge fan of Christopher Macklin Ministries. This is an organization that does group healings on platforms and also one-on-one sessions. And they're having great success with people who have diseases. Super exciting. They're helping people raise their vibration so that this new DNA that is available for us light beings is more easily coming into our bodies. And so that's essentially what we're also doing. Yeah, so I guess I'll throw that in there too. We are raising our vibration and creating a space where we can receive this higher vibration of DNA, because we need to evolve. Times are changing. The earth is not going to be the same place, and we need to evolve with it. Maybe I'll get back to that one in a second. Okay, so the Melchizedek beings are from the 13th dimension. For those in the last session, I explained that they, Melchizedek beings that have walked on the planet before in human form, would be Buddha, Babaji, Jesus, Mary, Thoth, big beings of light, that knew who they were. They knew that they came from the source of creation, the source of love, the source of light, and they came to herald in transitions on the planet during those dark times too. And these beings, the Melchizedek beings, are very much helpful to us humans on Earth. And we'll work with some Octurian beings a little later too, to help us make shifts in our body. And this is why we, say our prayers and we invoke the light, so that we start to detach from the world around us and go inside and really commune an inner presence with ourselves, so we can hear our answers, that we can have a safe place to let go of that which we'd like to let go of. I command you, God, to break all spells, curses, ancient rituals, and each person's life on this phone and anyone listening to the recording that are not for their highest good. I command that you remove all negative remote viewers, remove all radionics machines affecting everyone's lives now. Whoa. I command that you remove all AIs, redundancies, transmissional frequencies, infinite levels wide, infinite levels high, through all space-time continuum in every dimension that are not for each of our highest goods. We bring all the people involved with this manipulation before you, source of all that is, for justice and only the way you know how. It is not for us to judge them. Therefore, we release them to you with unconditional love and forgiveness. Okay, so now we're going to work on breathe, first of all, because right there you probably felt a lot of shifts in your head, which is good, because there's a lot of weird energy on the planet that makes us feel funky. And as soon as we start to detach from those negative morphic fields, we can start to run our own energy. When we run our own energy, we just naturally start to feel better. It's just what happens. Yeah, it's just naturally what happens. Okay, so now we're gonna, if anyone has to get up and leave, if anyone has to use the restroom, make a cup of tea, it's okay. It's okay. We are in a morphic field for this contained amount of time. So it's all good. You won't interrupt anybody by going to take care of what you need to take care of. And then just come right back in, and you'll be right where you need to be, back online. Okay, and so we're going to make these sacred geometric shapes around us, because yes, we have our aura and we have our chakras, but we have a Merkaba around that. And Merkaba is the Hebrew word for chariot. It's the way we move through space. And we're going to do one around our brains too, because our brains are working really hard, and we want to give them some extra love and really support them in not having.
I can't hear anything.
Same thing here.
Give us 1 second. We're fixing it right now. Annie's reconnecting, so just hold tight, everyone. We'll be back up in just a second.
Hello, I'm back. Hello. Okay, good. All right, perfect. All right, carry on. I've seen that happen to other people. I don't know. This is only my second one. I guess everybody, the whole internet just left the house for whatever reason, and now we're back. Okay, so back to creating this Merkaba, the sacred geometric shape around us. Okay. This is how we travel through dimensions. And yes, we go through dimensions, especially when we're sleeping, but we can also be, some of us are very multi-dimensional even in our just waking hours here. We're having more than one reality of existence, more than just here. And so we need this Merkaba so that we can exist multi-dimensionally. That's all I'm going to say about that right now, because there's all these other juicy things that they want to get to. So, I command the Melchizedek beings to open 8 portals from the ultimate dimension around each person in this call, on this call, and going to be listening to the replay afterwards, and close them off underneath them. I command the Melchizedek beings to create 27 esoteric Merkaba fields, bonding these 8 portals to the Merkaba fields, anchoring everybody's sacral point in their own Merkaba field, and programming it with their original blueprint of DNA and the keys of Enoch, which are the laws of the universe. I command the Melchizedek beings to escort all negative energies, entities, overtangles, interferences, manipulations, fractals thereof out of each people's body and field and space now. Physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically, spiritually, dimensionally. And we're asking for our own Merkaba fields around each of our brains as well to help clear any energy that is not beneficial out using time, space, spiral, continuum energy, energy that works from other dimensions, so that we don't actually get physical detox in this body, that it all just gets, anything unbeneficial gets taken out of our body and transmuted outside of our body, as to not cause any physical detox or upset. We bless and forgive the manipulation and release them to the ultimate dimension with unconditional love and forgiveness. Okay, so people should start to feel some energy perhaps lightening up, maybe gurgling in your stomach, maybe some tensions in the shoulders or the low back starting to unwind now. So our energy field and our bodies hold memories of everything that we've experienced in every lifetime. It's mind-blowing. And when we get blocked energies from traumas or distress or illness, that ends up creating negative emotions inside of us. And when we get blocked like that, then we start to run our energy field a really funny, because we have blocked energy that's not moving, that's not whole anymore. And if we let it go for an extended period of time, which most of us do, because we don't process our emotions moment to moment, day to day, as would probably behoove us, because we're in a realm of habit. And so we just go, 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 go. And we never really take the time to say, wow, wait, what just happened? I don't feel complete with that. I don't feel processed with that. I need to set some time aside now and digest that energetically. We don't do that. We kind of just keep going. And so we end up piling all these trapped emotions in our body, thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of layers of them. Then we get energies, entities, dust bunnies, whatever you want to call them, then that feed off of that, because we're not in the vibration of love. And then our meridians get a little whacked because they're not running well. And the next thing you know, an organ's feeling funny, or we have pain in our body and we don't really know what it is. And so we're like, well, that pain in my back, really that pain in my back is a situation that is unresolved. That constriction in my throat is energy I never came to fulfillment with. It's trapped emotions. And by running by connecting with our Merkaba and connecting with the universe and asking for the light to come in and taking the time to receive it and be with it, we can have spontaneous healing without having to know each of these thousands and thousands of trapped emotions. We can just, like, for a moment feel it. Whoa, I had an insight of something, and then breathe it and let it go. So this is why we do energy medicine. This is why we gather in groups, because we can access this innate blueprint, this original blueprint again, and talk to it and reestablish it in ourselves that started sending funny messages to each other. Because when we don't have a solution in our mind about something, I can't understand that. I don't know why that happened. That's unacceptable to me. When we can't get mental relief from it, we can make it a biological solution, which then would be an ulcer or, any assortment of illnesses, or emotional states that we can't seem to shake, perpetual negative thinking, such, because no one has really taught us how to clean out our field on a regular basis. So we're going to do this today together. So this is really exciting. So let us focus our attention upon a living, loving spirit that is our very true nature flowing through us. Let us lift our consciousness to areas of peace and harmony so we may know our true knowledge and wisdom to fulfill our paths and purposes and remember who we truly are. We invite all of our guides and teachers to be here with us today, and we are so honored by all of your presences as we open to this process. We especially invite in Anoki Full Source, and we ask you, Anoki, will you please heal the vibrational disturbance for each one of us? And in this place and in this earth, and will you please heal the connections between each one of us and the whole of interwoven openings so that all grow in harmony with their divine design. We ask it so long as we sit together and commune together, our intentions are completely balanced so that only accurate information comes through. And Anoki, let the void be harmonized with our healing and transformation. And we especially ask that we all be completely surrounded with light, that we feel and know its loving energy is here the whole time we play together, and that any unbalancing energies that wish to approach be instantly transmuted into love by this light. We thank you for the light. We thank you for this process. And we especially thank you for this time that we get to be with one another. We know the purpose of our existence is to evolve ourselves and the rest of humanity. And we know the healing process is not always easy, nor is it convenient. We ask that all the information be useful and relevant that comes to us today, accurate and free from personal attachment, personal agenda, and ego. Any negative energies that can be released, may they please be released, either directly to the ultimate universe, dimension, creator, without judgment immediately, and transmuted into love by this light, for all of our highest and greatest goods in all ways possible. And where the energies of joy and peace can be integrated and replaced into those spots and places and spaces where we release, may that be integrated into us and our daily awarenesses. I command that this healing be invisible to all negativity of any kind, negative energies, entities, anything that's unbeneficial, energies that would wish to interfere with us or hold us back. Okay, so let's start with giving our guidance team, our angels, a little blessing. So in order to have better boundaries so that we can discern what's ours and what's not ours and make this inner communing with ourselves more possible, we are going to use the Court of Atonement. Amy Jo Ellis is one of my favorite channelers out there right now. She channels Abraham, which is Esther Hicks channels Abraham as well. It's the same being. And he has brought to the planet for our use as humans something that's called the full court of atonement. I want to throw some stuff out there for those of you that are hungry and look for tools and want to have something in their pocket, either for just themselves or their family or even their clients. This one's really good. The Court of Atonement is so good. If you look at the word atonement, it means at one mint. When we bring things back into wholeness, it's complete. And so we use the Court of Atonement, which is a place in the astral plane where we go for resolution, clarity, insight. When we've had a long-standing argument or disagreement or misunderstanding with us in our lives, it can create fissuring in our auric field, and energies then can bleed through. And then our chi, our vital life force, can bleed out. It's like we're not holding and maintaining a capsule of energy that keeps our chi working for us. We are bleeding out into everything around us because we're in a state of panic and shock and fear, and we don't understand. And we think if we keep pouring our energy out there, we'll find the answer. And this is an exercise to bring all of our energy back to ourselves and find our own connection inside. And in that connection is your place of stillness, is your refuge, is your place of answers, is your place of knowingness. So this is what you'll say. You'll say your full name again. So I state your full name. Place myself, state your full name, in a full court of atonement for the purpose of having strong, healthy boundaries. I ask to have my guides purged with light and evaluated by my guardian guide given to me at birth. Any guides who no longer serve my highest and best are to be dismissed. I ask that they be blessed with light and granted any treatment necessary for their advancement as my parting gift to them. This next part I'm going to read on your behalf, so you don't have to say it out loud. You could hear it inside yourself being said in your own voice, but I'm going to read it for you. I ask that you disconnect and remove any and all energies that do not belong to you or no longer serve your highest and best. We ask that these energies are moved completely out of your entire energy system and placed in full courts of atonement to correct and heal their energies at their point of origin. I ask to purify and sanctify your energy systems with God's light to be entirely and uniquely your own. We ask to search and find any of your energy you have lost or sent out and bring it back to you, purified and sanctified, anchoring it at your core. We ask to purge your entire energy systems with divine, holy love and bind your energy to you magnetically. We ask to seal your energy with strong, healthy boundaries, healthy immune systems. We ask to wrap your energy field in blue-green light that only divine guidance can pass through. And we insist that only those guides, entities, angels, energies, properties, emotions, ideas, and thought forms and beliefs that are filled with 100% light are allowed in your space. And we charge this boundary of you with a blessing that anyone or anything that bumps up against or attempts to pass through your energy bubble is to be immediately filled with light and placed into a full court of atonement to correct their energy as needed. And take a breath. Okay, we're going to invite in your Octurian healings teams. Everybody has an Octurian healing team. They're from Arcturus. And they're really good healers. They're in the 7th dimension. And their mission is to support and guide us here on Earth. as we become of age. This new golden age is the age of Aquarius. It's also the age of enlightenment. We're calling forth each of your Arcturian healing teams. And we are asking them to please clear your energy fields of all imbalanced energies, thought forms, and beliefs that are not of source, not of God, not of 100% love and light. We ask that they please clear all lower vibrational projected thought forms of sabotaging energy, lower vibrational energies. We ask that they please clear all harmful extraterrestrial implants. Please clear all interfering or sabotaging astral entities or elementals. Please clear all your cellular memory of trauma, sadness, and fear, even if it's moment to moment, even for a moment, that it be cleared enough for your body to feel safe and go into his natural repair mode. We're asking your Arcturian healing teams to please heal, repair, and balance your chakras so they spin in perfect rhythm, perfect direction. And as they do this, they're spinning out energy that's no longer helpful. We're going to focus on the 7 energies we have that we know along our spine and the 5 that are waking up above our head right now. This is why some of us are feeling ringing in the ears. This is why some of us will be clear one moment and unclear in another moment. We have all these ascension energies hitting the planet to help us wake up, and they are activating this new blueprint of human consciousness through us, through our chakras. And it's these 5 chakras above our head that are really starting to spin and wake up now, which can be disorienting, which is why we need an inner presence practice to have a look at and see in our mind's eye what might be happening and how we can assist it. Maybe we need to increase our magnetic grids that ground us to the earth. We're going to do that next. Okay, there we go. Please assist each one of us in opening our heart into total unconditional love and oneness with all that is. Please assist each one of us in aligning with our own path of service and with divine will. We thank you. Amen. And so divine will is the place in our being where we say, you know what, I'll admit, I don't know the answers. Let me just bow my head for a second and get channeled in what is the divine will telling me to do. Not my egoic will, not my small will that's running and operating from fear. My divine will, the part of me that my higher self, the part of me that resides in a vibration of the universe that is past this trauma, that sees things, everything is divine, that sees the divinity in the chaos. This is where we choose to put in our USB port into that. We choose to unplug from other things. Oh, that's what they were going to have us do. Okay, so the body devas need bigger grids. They need more magnetic grids to balance this immense amount of electric energy that is like pummeling the planet to help us. Sometimes it feels weird, but it's to help us. Again, you can accept as much as you want. You are in control of that, always. You are always in control. No one is ever doing anything to you. I am not doing anything to you. You can always say no. You don't like the way something feels, you can say no. It'll stop the energy flowing. Write that like that. That's why when we do like something, when we are feeling a relief, we say, thank you, bring me more. We say, and we get to the point of stillness where we feel something like, whoa, I didn't know I had that level of discomfort and confusion in my mind. I'm willing to let that go, where we acknowledge, wow, there is some anxiety in my hip area. I didn't realize that. Let me bring some conscious light into that and say hello to that area. Hello. We say hello because sometimes we feel like the stuff inside is just so foreign that we have to say hello and get to know it. Because if we own it and know it, we can move it. If we never bother to look at it, we're like, I don't know. I don't know. It's just this thing. It's this pain. It's this pain I just have. The pain is your energy that got stuck. If we bother to go in and say hello to it and bring it the light it needs, it will resolve. Sometimes it doesn't do it right away. I've had parts of myself speak to me when I go in that are very angry and hate me, probably because I've ignored them for so long. And I have to sit with them until they're willing to grow up, meaning they're willing to come out of their fetal position and grow up to the light, just like a seed coming out of the ground and grow up to the light again, because they got frozen in time. They got frozen in time because of trauma. And these are the parts of ourselves that we are picking up. This is why so many of us feel so much shattering in our heart, because all of our traumas up from all of our lifetimes and all of our very challenging experiences in this lifetime too. And we're picking up the pieces because we need them. We cannot be whole without them. And yet to grow and evolve, we have to help them grow up, to see things from the other perspective, to see things from the fifth dimensional realm. In this way, when we're gluing all the pieces together, we're making a bigger cup for ourselves. It may look like a mosaic because it's been shattered a million times when we glue all the pieces back together, but it's still, when we glue all the pieces back together, it's a bigger cup and it can hold more light. And that's what we want. So let's give a little love to the body. I'm going to just turn off my video for a little while. I'm going to put on some music. You know, if you can't hear the music, it's okay. Don't worry about it. If it's really bad, maybe I'll change it for our next one and figure out a different way to do it. But it'll just be softly in the background. So if I take off my camera. Okay, so this is where you're gonna go inside. And Kayla, you can text me and tell me if that volume is not right. So it's not just music, it's actually music infused with energy that is very powerful and has the power to remove non-beneficial vows and contracts, broadcast messages, memory field images, despair anchors, negative programs that we're ready to dissolve. It can transmute and uncreate in all directions of time. It addresses hidden and apparent noxious energies from EMF frequencies, microwaves, ET frequencies that are unbeneficial. It helps remove any negative energies, ghosts, demons, and other vibrations that are ready to go home now as we bring more and more light into our being. It helps remove negative portals, cords, weapons, psychic attack, and it really enhances our spiritual immunity. It helps clear our aura and remove debris and unhealthy energy, cords that we might not have realized were still in place with old relationships, even though the relationships are over with. It helps us maintain a very high vibrational state to better receive assistance from our angels and these other beings of light that serve us so graciously, endlessly, that ask for nothing in return. It's infused with Ho'oponopono, the Hawaiian healing intention. Okay. So we're just letting it soak in. You're letting it move through your body, your chakras. Some of you may be having an internal journey at this point. That's awesome. You don't even have to listen to my voice if you don't want to. But see if you can go inside and say hello to whatever feels the most block inside, whatever feels stagnant, whatever feels super dark, scared, emotional, terrified. Just say, keep saying hello to it in a really loving, gentle, kind way. Go deeper and deeper. Let it see what it wants to show you. It might just have a couple of things it wants to share with you. It might show you something. It might show you a place in time where you lost part of yourself. Great. Thank you. Thank you. Bring me more. Show me how I can help. I love you. I'm sorry. Thank you. Forgive me. Please come home. I didn't mean to leave you in such a dark place for such a long time. I am here now and I come with so much light and love. I'm here for you now. And I'm asking you to come home to my heart. I have changed. I have grown. And I'm here now. Are you willing to let the light in? Are you willing to let the shadow go? Are you willing to stay present with this energy inside of you that's yours, that just got stuck, until he or she nods and says, yeah, I'll come back. Or this is what I need, or this is what I'd like you to hear. Frequency 16 is coming in, and this is the dolphins and the whales, and they are very loving and accepting and fun. They help bring us into a more flexible point of awareness. It helps us see something from a new perspective. They run the vibration of unconditional love. It's very wise energy, and it can help us manifest in so many different ways. It's joyful, it's playful, it's non-judgmental, it's relaxing, it's calming, it's grounding. It clears inappropriate stress and adaptations to misunderstandings. It helps us as humans bravely go where no man has gone before. That's what we are doing. We are creating a reality on this planet that has never happened before. It's consciousness incarnated. In the past, when people rose to a level of consciousness, they got to ascend. That's why we have so many ascended masters. Our role in this lifetime is to wake up in carnation, in body, to bring the light to the planet, anchor it in, and change the entire existence on this planet. That is why we have come, and it is very good with deep states of depression, sadness, and loss. They help us see that things are going to be okay. They are very loving and playful in their energies. There we go. There's a few of you that they are circling your brain big time. Okay, we're going to work on the throat chakra for a second because that's what they're telling me to do. So, you're going to say I, and then either in your mind or out loud, I, and state your full name. Place myself, state your full name again. Heart, body, soul, conscious and subconscious mind, and spirit into a full court of atonement with the entirety of my family lineage for the purpose of correcting the energies of feeling silenced, stifled, panicked, frozen, held back, sad, disgraced, ineffective, as well as any other and all detrimental emotions located in the throat chakra throughout all our timelines at their points of origin. I ask to create openness and willingness and allow myself to feel heard, harmony, accepted, assisted, divinely guided, and happy and well. And take a breath. I'm going to read a clearing on your behalf. You don't need to recite it after me. It is now commanded that any resistances to fully clearing and healing be released and resolved in the highest and best way in all directions of time and all timelines where I exist with ease, speed, and grace. Thank you. Or I should say where you exist. Yes, thank you. It is now commanded that any of your sensitivity and reactivity to anyone and anything that is excessive be turned down to as close to a 0 as possible on a 10-point scale as allowed by Source, including anything new we may be exposed to in all timelines as well where you exist in the highest and best ways. And we are asking that resiliency codes be downloaded to each one of your receptors in your body so that you are resilient to this coronavirus. Oh, good. Wow. People's bodies like that one. That is awesome. See if you can see in your mind's eye, your inner presence, that your body is very joyful that you are taking this time to commune with her, the spirit and the body together, as you're encouraging her to commune with you, align with you, reconnect with you at a very deep level, and in showing her that she has the power, she has a higher self, she has the power to connect to the body's higher self guides and team to increase the magnetics in a way that is most appropriate for your personal body. So, calling in the enlightened nature kingdom, Devic kingdom, crystal kingdom, animal kingdom, plant kingdom, the flower kingdom, the tree people, the heart of earth, Amenti, the earth angels, and the earth council to assist your bodies energy, your body's wisdom, your body's consciousness to disconnect from anything that is not beneficial, any old cordings, any old grounding mechanisms that are not yours that you need now. Just let the body disconnect from that and create his or her own perfect magnetic grounding mechanisms that are needed now. Okay, wow, the body's really like that. That's amazing. Your bodies are really enjoying having the power to disconnect from that which is not helpful to them and connect to that which is. Because the body's senses are evolving just as the soul's are. Our perception mechanisms, our ears, our eyes, our insight are evolving so that we may see things differently. We may allow ourselves to hear things differently. We may allow ourselves to perceive things differently. Why? So that we can perceive from the fifth dimension, the place of oneness and love consciousness, to detach from the mass consciousness morphic field of 3D reality whenever we can. We are evolving our senses. We are evolving our perception mechanisms. We are evolving them to magic and miracles. The Course in Miracles and the backbone of the Buddhist philosophy say the same things. They acknowledge that in this 3D realm, we have problems, we feel suffering, we have pain. But these teachings are saying you really only have one problem, and that is the problem is being disconnected from a very high degree from the source that you came from. Because in so doing, you will be divinely led, no matter how hard it is here. The Buddhists talk about the suffering is in the human mind, the part of the mind that will not see it from another point of view, the part of their mind, our mind that is limited to only seeing things from a 3D reality. So we are having a real reboot here, not just for our grounding mechanisms in our body, so he and she can feel more in control over having direct communication with our microbes, our inner wellness, to stay healthy and immune to anything that we don't want to catch. It's an invitation for our body's chi to pull in and work on it for itself. There's a huge evolution happening between the endocrine system and the immune system where they are joining at a very high level. We are transitioning out of the immune system, which has been programmed for survival and to seek and destroy that which is not useful in the body. But you can see the message of this is also that's the microcosm view of it. You can see the macrocosm view is that's how we've approached the world. Seek and destroy what might cause us harm, get to it before it gets to us. And yet, as our microcosm, as our inner connection changes to the immune system merging with the endocrine system is prevalent in all the subtle dimensions. It's not just in the third dimension. It has an organ in each dimension, in each chakra. And the endocrine system is a system based off of communication, cooperation, collaboration. And so as the immune system and the endocrine system merge together in this potential shift from 3D reality to 5D reality, as this internal connection happens inside of us, you could see as how that's going to have a direct reflection on the macrocosm. And instead of seeing, seek and destroy, where is our enemy, we can use what the endocrine system is doing as a template of communication, connection, collaboration. Wow, that's beautiful. I'm going to read one more reading and then we're all going to come back. If you have to go, I totally understand because we're a few minutes over, so I'm sorry about that. If you have to go, you can get the replay. So Jared Hewitt wrote a statement of hope and sovereignty that I very much like, and he also has a video on YouTube that's called Fear Clear, F-E-A-R Clear, Fear Clear. Boy, if you listen to that a few times, you will feel energy just like fly out of your space. He did a really good job on that. So, and when he is writing this statement of hope and sovereignty, the I am statement is that I am all that is. I am source. I am unity. I am oneness consciousness. I am of the divine creation. So I am that I am. I direct, acknowledge, and claim on behalf of myself and all energies. I direct all of me to be on board with who I am and my heart open to love, now made manifest in this world. I allow all that I am to permeate my beingness so that my heart leads the way, shining bright for every single atom and beyond. All that I am to ignite with pure spirit, pure love, pure passion, pure joy, pure knowingness of all that is. I take full responsibility for the creation of all that I am, and I release and direct into the light of source for healing any and all fear and limitation, as well as discordance, cords, contracts, or agreements made with any lower vibrational energies or entities. And I know that I am whole in this moment, and I am enough, I am worthy, I am plenty. I recognize, claim, and affirm that I am the creation of me. I acknowledge, affirm, claim, and choose to know that I am the creation of me, and I choose to create myself with and through love, joy, peace, simplicity, and pure divine inspiration and flow. I choose to stand firm in the knowing that I am that I am, and that any energy I may have been carrying, creating, or giving my power away to, including but not limited to the energies of sabotage, anger, rage, destruction, defeat, or any other lower vibration in any other shape or form, is now released and transmuted, and I choose anew. I choose love. I invoke the formula of love, including all the rays and flames and lights, and direct that I am love and the creation of me and my world as divine love in its highest, most loving, abundant form, free from my own perception of what I even think that is. Any stories, attachments, energies, fears, collectives, contracts, cords, beliefs, non-beliefs, etc., that are not serving me in the knowingness that I am, I now knowingly and consciously direct that these all be transmuted by the one true light of all that is. For any and all energy present or not present in my hologram, and totality beyond the known and unknown planes and spaces, dimensions and creations, I invoke divine love and claim and know that any fear around transmutation equaling death, obliteration, or destruction that I may fear is hereby now balanced by invoking the creation formula, which I do now. I am that I am, and I hereby claim responsibility and love in all aspects and for all aspects of my life and world, and I am the creation of me. I am the highest answer. I am healed, and everything is balanced around the knowingness and beingness that I am. I acknowledge and affirm that loving myself is joyful, and that I am divine love expressing as gratitude, love, joy, and abundance which I now define and know as the wholeness that I am. I am committed to one happy, prosperous, and healthy whole that makes me happy. It's easy, simple, quiet, and complete, now and consistently. I am stable, creative, free, peaceful, and joyful in the creation of me as an open heart full of love and joy. I love all of myself and all that I am. I allow myself to be who I am and to emerge in ever more loving and abundant, joyful, glee-filled ways now into the one true heart of the One, the light of all that is, made manifest as I am that I am, and so it is. And breathe. It is now commanded that all parts of you, physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically, spiritually, dimensionally, all processes, all systems, all energies, be reset and rebooted, renewed and revived, rebalanced, recalibrated, rejuvenated, regenerated, and restored to 100% ideal, radiant health in the highest and best ways in all directions of time, in all timelines where you exist, and anything preventing this, please be healed now with ease, speed, and grace. Thank you. I'm thanking all the beings of light who came here to be of service to us today. I am so grateful for your help and honored by your presences. And I'm so humbled to be in the presence of these beautiful light beings on this call and those re-listening to the replay. I acknowledge them as my brothers and sisters, beings of light who have come to the planet to evolve the planet and to evolve ourselves. Is there anything else Spirit would like us to know right now? Convey. Do we have permission to close? We are complete. And we thank all of our guides and master guides, and thank all the great archangels who hold space sacred for us. We thank all the beings of light and shadow who usher us into this new world. We thank the violet flame. We thank you, the Shekhinah. We thank you, Source. We thank you, Enoki, full source. And you'll repeat after me, either aloud or silently. I now have 100% desire that I am wholly aligned with my expanded self so that my evolution is in accordance with my heart's desires. And now thank your angels, your gods, your teams as well, if you would like, the dolphins, the whales, the guidance team that probably came uniquely for you, that you might have just been communing with. Thank your body for staying still and letting your soul connect to these higher vibrations. We wrap you in rainbow light, gently sealing in them so that they're at the degrees that work best for you. Not too high, not too low. Your body gets to decide that for himself, and your soul gets to decide that for his self as well. And my video's back on. And I'm feeling better. So I have to thank you all, because it didn't start that way. And I am grateful for this time that we created for ourselves to do inner presencing in a group. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about this group healing and how powerful it is, and I have witnessed it firsthand in so many ways. And there's a cohesiveness when people who have a similar vibration come together, as you all do. I mean, there's a ton of places you can go and listen to stuff. So to come here live and do it is really fun for me, and I'm honored. And I hope you guys felt some movement inside. I was watching, and some of you were so courageous. You were just like, "Yep, I'll let it all go." I mean, it was pretty cool. So Kayla and I are going to do this next, not next, but Monday, April 13th. I think I said before at 5 p.m. And we'll send out this recording. And I'll read all the messages afterwards. So anything you put in the chat room, I'm very grateful, even if it's suggestions or questions that arose that maybe we could, maybe one day this does turn into more questions. I think with such a large group, that's not the best idea. But Spirit was showing me yesterday that it's possible that we could do smaller groups with themes like, 10 people, and we're going to work on one chakra and go through all the layers and do healing on every minutia of it. And I can give more direct healing that way towards specific things. So if anyone's interested in doing smaller groups, in addition to the larger ones, we could dream that up. I don't know. This is all brand new. It's nothing set in stone, and I don't even know if it's going to continue. I'm kind of counting on your feedback for that. Thank you, Lindsay, for being here from Vermont. I'm so grateful for that. Kayla, is there anything that you see in the chat room that we should directly talk about right now? Because I know tomorrow's a big healing day, and this is why I wanted to do this the day before that, to get everybody really juiced up and full of light, so that they can have a super conscious day tomorrow. 4-4 and 2020 adds up to 4, so we have some gatherings going on in the country. Kelly was going to put something in the chat room.
There's some put in the chat room. There were some links put in there.
Perfect.
And then I put the date for the next one will be the 13th at 5 o'clock. We'll send an email out to everybody. Everyone is just saying thank you so much. A lot of people are saying they feel a lot better. Nancy Ryan says you are such a gift to us and our universe, and she's feeling the love.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Nancy, for taking the time to be with us. I know a lot of these people are from For Goodness Sake, which is, such a beautiful group of people too. I'm so grateful for them to send out an email to all the people that, frequent there. And I know we miss meeting and having meditations together. So I'm so grateful that the word got out to them and that many of them have joined us here. That's just really cool. I miss doing my in-person healings there. I assume they will resume, but I don't think in the near future. So, and as much as I could channel for hours and hours and hours, I could also be silent. I have a new gift that has come to the surface for me, and I've tried it on myself, and my dog, really seems to dig it. And now I'm seeing somebody else's.
Oh yeah, someone's sharing their.
Oh, good, thank you. But just being silent, and I think they're calling it like emanating energy, so that if everybody really wanted to go inside and get into their meditation, I would stop talking for a chunk of time and just emanate the healing energies coming onto the planet to help us. And then that might even develop this inner presencing meditation. Like, how does that sound if we were to do that? Like me being not talking and just emanating like gobs of love, and like that just intensifying the field, and then you having a quiet experience for maybe 5, 10, 15 minutes. I think people are like ready for that. Like, I know I said before, if you could squeak out 2 minutes in the morning, 2 minutes in the evening, great. But I have a feeling, and I'm praying to God that everybody gets addicted to inner presencing and really finds like miraculous answers inside themselves. I just don't think people get like how important they are. They're so important to this whole movement, and it can't be done. And light beings have to be the biggest grown-ups in the room. We have to be the ones that have developed a bigger bandwidth to be able to handle stress and still hold light even though we're feeling it, and to master turning down these dials so that we are not redlining in our brain and our adrenals so much that we can really increase this presence inside of ourselves. So I think we should try that. I don't know. Maybe I'd lose some, maybe people would fall asleep. That's totally fine too. And maybe people would think that's too long to be silent. But if we don't know and we don't try, we won't know if it's like a juicy, fun thing to do sometimes. So I have a feeling you're all really proficient meditators and could even get deeper. For we need some clues about what's going on right now. People have to realize that this is not, we are not being tortured and punished. There is divinity in this, and we have to be able to see it from a higher place in our consciousness. We got to be the way showers that can fall apart and still hold some of it together and not totally go down the drains.
People seem into it. Yep. Let's try
okay.
it. Yep. Let's do it.
Okay, so tomorrow is great. Okay, cool. What else did we have to say? Oh, yes, I hope everybody sleeps really good tonight. Healthy boundaries are really important when you sleep too. So when you go to bed and you're saying good night to your archangel or the other beings that that you work with, put your Merkaba field, your bubble of light, your tube of light, your whatever you want to see it as, 100% pure source light around you the whole time while you sleep too, because our brains and our bodies need rest. We are, even though we're not like really working that much, we are stressing a lot, and that is like a full-time job. Our bodies need the best shot of a good night's sleep that it can. So we need to say a little prayer, if you will, a map of intent before we go to bed, that our angels protect us while we sleep, that we don't go to weird places that we shouldn't be going to, and that we have healthy boundaries in all our sleeping hours. And we can say that prayer for the dog if it's on our bed, or the significant other that's in their bed, that everybody else gets their bubble too. I think that's super important so that our immune systems and our endocrine systems and get the best chances that they can to stay super, super healthy. Goodbye. I love you guys immensely, and I'm so honored that you took the time to share space. And I'm gonna stop the recording now. Hi, honey. Yeah, if anyone wants